Good afternoon, everyone. I'm thrilled to be with you today. We are here to discuss the BolognaRagazzi CrossMedia Award and to celebrate the winners and special mentions of the 2024 edition of the prize. 4 years ago, the Bologna Children's Book Fair recognized the changing landscape of the new media and traditional media, and at the same time the generative role that books continues to play in the contemporary narratives. And this led to the establishment of the BolognaRagazzi CrossMedia Award in partnership with Mamamo Association and within the framework of Altus Up. This award intends to prize remarkable publishing projects that expand or adapt their narratives through different media platforms, from television and cinema screen to video games, mobile devices and smart speakers. It consists in two categories. The first category is CrossMedia Project, which involves projects that expand or adapt through different media, but must have at their starting or finishing point a book, a picture book, a comic, a graphic novel as well. Then second category is digital reading experiences, which involve reading experiences offered by digital platforms, as well libraries, applications, or digital publishing series. In addition to the winners of these two categories, this year the jury has given 6 special mentions. Now let me introduce you to the Bologna CrossMedia Award jury. Warren Buckleitner, first from the US. He holds a doctorate in educational psychology and he's an assistant professor at the College of New Jersey. He's the editor of Children Technology Review. Then Julie Fox from Ireland, based in France. Thanks to 25 years of experience in the animation industry, she currently works at Gaumont Animation in Paris, where she scouts for and produces book-based properties and original creation. Then Neil Hoskins from Poland, based in Poland but from UK, an independent publishing consultant focusing on innovation and content creation in the children's book industry. Neil recently has published his first picture book. Then last, Beatrice Young-in Lin from South Korea. She's a new entry of the jury, a digital content specialist with a long career in licensing, publishing and digital content distribution. She's a co-founder of Comint, a leading rights agency specializing in Korean language ebooks and audiobooks, and recently opened digital service Matchwhale, the right exchange marketplace. And I'm pleased to introduce myself as the 5th member of the jury. I'm Elisa Salamini. I'm founder of the Cultural Association Mamamo, devoted to media literacy and to the promotion of digital culture. Alongside with Roberta Franceschetti, we also have founded the Content Makers, that is an agency specializing in cross-media projects for kids. Of course, we also have here the 2 winners of this edition of the CrossMedia Award. Jan Chapman from the Netherlands for the CrossMedia Project Sam and Julia, and Catalina Holguin from Colombia for the digital reading experience Make Make. They were selected from over 100 entries from 30 different countries. But before they delve into the details of the remarkable projects, let's take a look to this short video highlighting the 2024 edition of the CrossMedia Award. After this quick overview, Jan, I think it's time you introduce to us Sam and Julia.
So, thank you, Jury, for choosing us, first of all. I was very happy with that. The mouse mentioned, this project started actually over 60 years ago with my grandmother. She was an Indonesian immigrant and a single mother. They lived together with my mother in a small city in the Netherlands. And my mother, she grew up with a lot of love, but they were also very poor. So as an immigrant woman, they experienced a lot of hostility and discrimination from their neighbors. So although it was a loving time, it was also a very rough time where she experienced a lot of troublesome things in her childhood. And it became a little bit worse when her mother passed away when she was 12. She was completely left alone and even had to survive on the streets for some years. And after this childhood you would not wish upon any child. Later in life, these experiences gave her the inspiration to create a world where people look out for each other and where neighbors and different cultures are something to be embraced instead of to be excluded. And this world she built out of nothing. She used carton boxes and waste materials to create a universe that is now the Mouse Mansion, with the main characters Sam and Julia, who experience a lot of adventures and learn about different cultures and all the different residents in the Mouse Mansion. So here are some clips from the first book that my mother created, because the Mouse Mansion is a dollhouse where we take pictures of, and that becomes the book. So here are some pictures of, this is Sam, one of the main characters, and everything you see here is made out of waste materials and carton boxes. And then after the first book was created now 12 years ago, we a couple more clips. Me and my sister, we started helping our mother, because at that time the book was translated in multiple languages and a lot of business decisions came upon our path. And we first helped with some minor business decisions, but we also saw that from around the world, people and children were creating their own Mouse Mansion, purely based and inspired from the books. And in turn, that gave me and my sister the inspiration to create a brand where we can expand on the mission from the Mouse Mansion around the world. So we try to get more kindness, more creativity into the world. That's the mission of the Mouse Mansion. And we first of all did that with a book. And after that, we also made our own product line, helping children to create their own Mouse Mansion and be creative and use arts and crafts as a tool to create your own world. The books now are translated in over 27 languages, and we sold over 1 million copies. And every year we still make new books. So my mother, she is at this moment working for the new Christmas book that's coming out at the end of this year. The products we also make ourselves, and actually now my mother uses these for the new Mouse Mansions she builds. And these products we sell now all over the world. So we have them distributed in the whole of Europe, the USA and Australia at the moment. One of the first things we did as a brand was opening our own shop. And this is actually the pictures you see here are the second shop we just opened at the main shopping street in Amsterdam. And whenever you are there, you are more than welcome to visit us and experience the real dioramas my mother used for the books. We create a lot of brand awareness through our own social media platforms. So from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest as well, we try to expand the brand to those ways and make sure people know about us, but also go to our e-commerce platforms where they are able to buy the books and buy the products. And one of the most exciting projects we have been working on the last now 7 years is the animated series. It's just been released in France and now also in the Netherlands, and end of the year in Germany, and hopefully it will sell well the upcoming year and spread around the world. This is a co-production with ZDF and France Télévisions. The sale has just been started, and hopefully it will be aired in a lot of territories the upcoming years. So that was it, I think. Yeah, and here's the trailer of the series. So enjoy. Thank you.
mouse mentioned is truly an enchanting word. Now, Catalina, could you tell us about Make, the reading digital experience you designed mainly for kids?
Thank you for choosing us, jury. My name is Catalina Holguin. I come from Colombia, Latin America. Make is a digital library that will show up at some point. There you go. Stop. That's good.
Sorry.
That's good. So Make was born about 8 years ago out of my experience of 5 years working at the National Library and the National Network of Public Libraries in Colombia. We have close to 1,400 libraries in our country. At that point, 10 years ago, there was a lot of investment in bringing internet and tablets and computers to public libraries and to schools, but there was zero content, zero books in Spanish, basically. So out of this need of giving meaning to all of this technology that was being given away in different schools and libraries, I thought it was important to offer our kids books from their own country in their own language. So that's how Make started originally. Oh, so there you go. Make is designed as a platform, a subscription-based platform, and it is paid for by schools and libraries. So this is actually a business model that works, which is weird to say, but it's true. A lot of digital projects don't have any business model that works. Our project works for ourselves, of course, but also for the publishers that we work with. We represent 75 different publishers, most of them small-sized to mid-sized from Latin America, a lot of whom you will see around here in this book fair, many of which have won the Bologna Prize for the South America Publisher Awards, a lot of finalists. So we do represent the best books and authors and publishers that are from our region. We also, what's different or particular about Make is that we also have interactive books, which are HTML5 based. Everything in Make is web based, so that means it works on iPads, iPhones, Androids. Android is big in Latin America, as opposed to iPad, but it also works there. So we also have the interactive books, which are animated, they have read-along features. We have included some of the books who actually won in this book fair a long time ago, like In My Dreams, from a little French company called Étoiles. And we have all the 4 digital books there. A lot of books that were launched years ago when the app books based on apps or apps that were supposed to be books were a big thing and totally flopped. We basically translated back all those books from app language to web-based language and gave them a life through distribution. So what we've noticed with this project is, one, we represent independent publishers, and we ourselves are an independent little company. We find ourselves side by side some of the biggest tech companies that you don't even see here, but are very much present in the library world, such as Overdrive, which is insanely huge and scary. So we basically are side by side these huge guys because we have created a very specific reading experience. And I like the name of the prize because indeed it focuses on reading, which is what we do and what we have and our main focus. Right now we have close to 2,200 books, which we carefully choose to make part of the platform. I have some numbers there that I'm not really interested in, or the technology part. I'm interested in telling you more about the people that we work for and that we work with. And we work for and with librarians and teachers. And we need to make screens meaningful to them, and we need to make books attractive, be it in a digital screen or a paper book. It really doesn't matter. Kids and teachers go back and forth from the screen to the book. They're hybrid readers themselves. This one we wanted to showcase because we have Kintsugi, which has won a book award also in this platform, which is a way of me telling you that we have, brand new books that publishers are giving us, because Make also makes sense for them. So it's important to have a digital ecosystem that makes sense for publishers, that makes sense for us, the producers, that makes sense for the readers, and that is not artificially financed by some sort of invisible capital fund somewhere. So this a bit of the interactive books that we have. There on the side you can see En Mis Sueños, or In My Dreams, which is one of the books that won the very first prizes in this book fair a long time ago. And this little horrible graphic, sorry I did it on the airplane, but I wanted to convey another interesting thing about a digital platform in a context such as Colombia and Latin America, and it is that, for one thing, in Colombia, the book world, it's mostly centered in the capital city, which is Bogota, which is right in the center of that map, and that you don't see there. Because what we've achieved is actually, we have changed the geography of how children's books are read, because children's books are expensive, especially if you import them, especially if you pretend somebody from different towns or little cities is supposed to read these books. It's not going to happen. So we've done that, but also for the past 4 years we started selling our books in the American market, North American market. So we now work with major public libraries in the US and school districts, and they obviously buy and sell and read the books in Spanish. There are more than 50 million Spanish speakers in the US and Latino communities, and they do not have authentic books written in their own language that might represent their own experience. So we've had a very interesting experience there, and so usually books travel from Spain to the US and from the US south to Colombia rather than south-north. So that's another thing that's we've been able to change there. And these are pictures of our actual readers. We told them we were coming to this book fair, and if they wanted to send us videos and pictures of them to be themselves represented here, and some of those are the pictures that they sent. So that's what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Catalina. I think that the jury found your platform really simple but accessible and complete, and it was very impressed by this feature. But now we'd like to introduce to you also the 6 special mentions the jury has given to 6 remarkable projects. I'd like the jurors to introduce them to you, and we can start with Beatrice, with The Day I Became a Bird, and then The Imaginary.
Thank you, Elisa. I'm very happy to announce our Juror statements about the first 2 book-to-animated movie projects. So as Juror, we think that it's our duty to really realize and found out the profound meaning of book storytelling of this kind of special case, like book-to-animated films. So the first special mention project, The Day I Became a Bird, We want to invite you the profound impact of this animated films. The cinematic masterpiece created or crafted by esteemed Oscar-winning director Andrew Brueggemann encapsulated the essence of the first love and self-discovery in a manner that both tender and very bold. From its inception, the project has garnered unanimously praise from our jurors for its ability to seamlessly translate the celebrated book by Ingrid Chabert and Guerrero into a captivating animated short film. The transformation from page to screen is nothing short of remarkable, as it immersed the audience in the world, into the innocence, emotion, and wonder. What truly sets this film apart is its commitment to authenticity and innovation, utilizing the cutting-edge technologies such as Unreal Engine. The creator have brought the book's illustrations to the life in a 2D and 3D fusion. It's visually stunning and very narratively compelling. Yet amidst this kind of spectacles, the film never lost sight of its core themes: hopes, truth, and above all, the love. Through its meticulous attention to detail, from graphic visuals to audio sound effects, it invites audiences of all the ages to empathize with the protagonist's journey of self-discovery. And the second project, it's The Imaginary. We want to invite you to delve into the captivating world of the imaginary. It's another cinematic marvel brought by the talented director, the Japanese Yoshiyuki Momose, and Studio Panag. Studio Panag, for your information, it's established 8 years ago by a former lead film producer at Studio Ghibli. And it actually made a very seamlessly merged by rich tapestry of A.F. Carroll's novel, illustrated by Emily Gravitz, with a visual splendor of Japanese animation. From its inception, The Imaginary also hailed with a groundbreaking work of art, blending cultural nuances with a cross-cultural sensitivity in a manner that resonates deeply with audiences worldwide. The film masterfully explored the realms of childhood imagination, highlighting its profound connection to memory, literature, and the power to shape reality. What sets this film apart is its exquisite background art and also stunning hand-drawn animation. Studio Panag's commitment to innovation shines again by employing new techniques of light and shadow to deepen the emotional resonance of the story. In its core, The Imaginary, the tale of resilience, familiar bonds, and the enduring power of a human spirit. Through the eye of Roger, an imaginary boy in the story, and his creator, the girl Amanda. So we are transported to a journey that transcends the boundary of reality and the imagination. Thank you so much.
And the next one that we selected for a special mention was The Paper Boat. As you can see, the theme of immigration was running very highly in our minds during this jury selection. This short film was based on the book written by a Vietnamese author who, at the age of 2, immigrated to Canada, left with his family as one of the boat people. And Ian's story about immigration has been very beautifully developed, very beautifully commercialized. This is less of a commercial project, it's more of what we call in France a bijou, it's a jewel. The translation from the book into the screen was a combination of techniques of mixture of 2D, paper collage, 3D stop motion, and the story was basically the point of view of a child who was playing with ants in the very beginning, and when she was a child, she was picking all these ants out of the bowls of sugar which her family had put out to sort of drown the ants. So she used to save the ants. And what happened was then her mother had to take her family and escape the country. So they left and they got lost on the way because they traveled in the nighttime. But what happened was when they were traveling, the ants started to show them the way as they moved through the darkness, and finally the ants took them to the riverside where they got their boat, which helped them to immigrate. And it was a film which was actually sponsored and financed by the National Film Board of Canada, where there are so many Vietnamese people who have arrived. And I think especially for my generation, I grew up with the stories of the boat people, so this one particularly touched me, and I just think the whole innovative mixed media aspect of how they translated that storybook into the screen was a huge success. What else did I want to say, in case I forget? Yeah, in the end of the day, it's a story about resilience and the transformative power of art, and the transformative power of animation when you take a story as beautiful as the paper boat and put it on the screen, and I think it's been a very successful project.
So in the digital reading experiences, the next special mention comes from Canada and a company called Skyship. And the Skyship story is a fascinating one. It's almost in reverse because they were born into the world of YouTube and have a very successful channel with over 35 million subscribers. But they have developed from that into a definitive and quality platform for preschool content. And this, especially delivering within the frame of an app, means that the adverts and the intrusions that you get online were actually taken away, and you have, I suppose, what they would call the most pure experience of their content. In the CrossMedia Award, we're always looking for, I think essentially, we have to look at quality content, we have to give that our marks from all of our experiences, but then we're also looking at how that content is shown in the different media formats. And I think with the super simple application, which has, I think, over 1,200 pieces of content, the simplicity, no pun intended, the sheer sort of development of the content within those frames that you see there, this spin wheel panel, which is updated and published every week and every month. So it's a growing kind of vessel of content for preschoolers, and the digital reading experience there with visual reading, with reading through song, with learning through song, and that has caught on from what was their original developments in Japan, was really finding songs for teachers to use in classrooms to teach English. So they have also, I think, what we'd like to, in the cross-media panel, they have developed new relationships from digital back into the paper world. They have formed many licensing deals, one of which is with Scholastic, who produce some of their school-based books. And I think finding those new areas, finding those new pieces of content is an experience for digital companies, just as much as we've gone through the experience in Bologna of other companies like publishers trying to do digital. Now, of course, we've been through the app world and we've come out the other side, and as one of the winners mentioned, the subscription model seems to have become and won through as a business model. But what I would say from the judges is that I think perseverance and ability to keep on publishing really is where the spoils and where the returns come. It is a long-term game. And I think that is one that I think any publishers or people out there need to understand, that it returns a lot of good things if you keep at it. Alongside that, I think the jurors appreciated the snappy, the bright songs, the character sets with all the different forms. And I think it's just a joy to use for that preschool group. And it develops really into something that I think is its place probably in the future in even a preschool environment. So congratulations to them, and I'll hand on to, I think it's Warren next.
I'm Warren Buckleitner. I'm from the United States and feeling very sleepy right now. I started working on the New Media Prize in 1997. It was called the New Media Prize, and now it's the CrossMedia Prize. So it's wonderful to see how the market has changed. And one theme that I think we all agree on is that there's a lot of love in these products. Particularly this year, it was when you see these two guys who won, and the number of products that they were just edged out. So many people work so hard on these products for children. So I'm going to describe the final two products here, the mentions. They're both collections of content, which is a theme that seems to be growing, as Neil was saying, with the subscriptions. One is called Better Time Stories, and so that is not it. That's it right there. So this is another reading platform, and it's very timely, and with the invasion of Ukraine, but just in general, the number of parents and grandparents that are not physically in the same place as their children has made Better Time Stories a platform where it actually works. Way it works is if you can send a link by text or by email to the person who's far away. They click on the link and that's it. They can use any phone or browser, and they can record, they see their book, right? And then they can record their voice reading the book in any language. So that linkage makes it so that you can read a bedtime story to your child. And there's 100,000 books, and there's also celebrities, including the First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelensky. So there's a lot of people behind this effort to share the books. Better Time Stories for ages 3 to 7. And there's also a lot of analytics that's very publisher friendly, so that if you want to put your book up there, you can put it up there. The final title is one that was submitted last year, and the jurors liked the level of technology here. As you see that we're all familiar with the apps that are sort of crossed, mixed reality, that put bunny ears on your head when you're playing with your social media. This takes it up a notch by actually embedding those layers in children's stories. So the ease of use with this app, you download it, it works on any mobile device. The way that it's just funny. And so we were really funny and easy to use. We were very pleased with this, and it brought a smile to our face. And I think if you try it, it will on yours as well. So both involve sharing and building using technology to build relationships between an adult and a child. So that's it for me. It's wonderful working with you guys, and good job with the prize this year.
Thank you, everybody. I think we have nearly run out of time, but to conclude, I just want to mention that starting this year, the new business center at the Bologna Children's Book Fair is welcoming audiovisual producers who are keen to connect to publisher exhibiting at the BCBF. So if you are interested in this initiative, you can find the TV Film Rights Center in Hall 29, Mall 2. So thank you for being here and have all a nice afternoon.